Hey, my name is Nick, and we are going to analyze how Joe Biden beat the Trump train and is going to moonwalk all the way into the White House. If you look on screen in 2016, Trump literally dismantled Hillary Clinton and their campaign. They had this whole girl power thing going on, and they were like, look, it's time to elect the first woman president, yada, yada, yada. Trump came in with the whole, it's economy stupid, it's economy stupid, it's economy stupid. So, one of the biggest things that you consistently learn when it comes to winning in any product you have is a question of emotional connection, right? So, I think we can put up some pictures of people on unemployment lines. There's that video of guys in Dallas, Dallas, I think it's Dallas Food Bank line, and they're literally, the guys it's a red state, and guys are in a huge line. I think you'll see this video here. So you can come up with all the theatrics you have, but if you do not have an emotional connection to your followers, your campaigns, the people that you're dealing with, you are going to lose all the time. So what usually happens is that you will get on Twitter the first time you get it, and as you can see in the video, people are not doing well. There's the threat of coronavirus, there's unemployment, and then of course I think we can switch the video of Trump, Trump White House. Coronavirus, when he comes in and says and rips off the mask and says, do not let this thing take over your life. So, on one end you have Trump. He's a master, showmanship, right? He's exceptional at it. He knows how to use all the tools of his presidency to really, grab as much attention as possible. So when you look at his campaign, you look at his Twitter feed, he has over 88.8 million followers, right? I would guess he probably has 120. But what happens, if you look at his page, Twitter has dedicated people to literally scrutinize every single thing he says, and I would be sure that on average his followers do not get, like, nowadays I have to literally search for his profile and go to his profile to see what he's saying. So when he tweets something, I'm not getting it on my profile. Suppression. Promotion, suppression. You want to be on this side. You want to be on the promotion side, where you're getting your products retweeted, and you want people converting to sales. So I think we've mentioned before, one of the most important things to target is by targeting hashtags, right? Like hashtag PS5, right? So when you go click on PS5, you're going to see some of the top posts. Is a PlayStation 5, SPL Times, Stock Tracker, and you can literally go out and have conversations with people that are emotionally connected to the PS5. I think if there was a post I saved, let me see if I can grab it for you guys. And let's see. The guy is at Pixel Pro _, and he has 13,000 followers. And all he did is he came in, he said huge PS5 giveaway. You can look on the screen, and they said that thought I joined Twitter with a bang. I'm giving away a PS5 console with a bunch of goodies listed below. To enter, retweet, follow me at Pixel Pro, tag a friend. This giveaway will only last 48 hours. Winner of this draw will be done at Sunday 8 Eastern Time. Look at the retweets, look at the likes. He has 11,000 people clicking on there. They are retweeting, they are loving him, and basically you're getting followers. So you're getting a more male demographic followers. So if I'm this guy, I'd be selling retweets. I'll probably buy some retweets from him, from guys that want to talk about male products, maybe a case about PS5 and so on and so forth. Now there's another guy, his name is Polte, at Polte, you probably follow him. So he has an NGO, and basically all he does is he goes out and gives away money. To get the money he's giving away, you need to follow him, you need to have notifications on, and he has about 3 million followers. He's been covered a lot by the media, all over the place, and he doesn't give away that much money. He'll probably give away $1,000 or $2,000 in a week. Most of his clients, most of his followers are more American centric. These are guys on unemployment. They're not doing too well. Some of them are sick. Some of them are scammers. But people are along for the ride. So the people following you are following you for a reason, right? We can now go to one of these smaller campaigns here. This is Kayla Parilla, however you call it. Kayla, Parrilla, and she owns KingsPlayApparel.com. I think you can see it up here on screen. She sells more women-centric clothing, so that means her sets are expensive. They're like $70 a piece, $100 a piece. And when you look at her store, she is sold out, $55 shorts. And she's built her store. She's not promoting her Etsy store. She's not promoting her eBay products. She's promoting her Shopify product. I'm assuming you're part of, you've seen some of the other things that we've been putting up there, right? And this, she's able to go out and consistently send them campaigns, and go out and remarket them to, market them to a particularly more minority-centric demographic. And of course, the beauty about women is that if they like she has really tight-fitting clothes, and they're dope. She's done a really good job on the picture side. She has fantastic assets that she can use everywhere. She can use on Instagram and so on and so forth. You're getting more of this. More people are spending money with smaller buyers versus going out with the big buyers, right? So I think she does sweatsuits. And then I think one of her biggest campaigns was this one. This was around September 1st, where she just literally took her tracksuits, went to a mall, and they just shot like a 20-second video. But then of course it's an ongoing concern, it's an ongoing business, right? So when you talk about politics now, once we switch into politics, you'll understand one very simple thing, is that you need to be an ongoing concern. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. You're not gonna wake up and get rich. I started off with the Kickstarter. I was and I am an ongoing concern, right? I'm selling masks. That was in my premier product. I'm selling masks. I'm gonna go. You can see some of the pictures on screen. I'm gonna sell some jerseys about. I'm gonna sell some jerseys about what do you call it? Kamala Harris and all these things. So you want to be an ongoing concern. You are an ongoing concern, right? That's very, very important. If you want to make money, if you want to take advantage of Twitter cards, if you want to take advantage of free traffic on Twitter, I'm assuming you're already a member of a particular group somewhere, you're a member of a particular Reddit somewhere, you have an Instagram account. Even if you don't have those Instagram accounts, you follow. So I'm assuming someone like Kayla here sent some sweatsuits to some stars and said, hey, I have these stars. I have a post tomorrow. You guys help me amplify it, right? But we're not here to talk about that. We just wanted to touch base on a couple of things and see that on a small scale, you can get out, have your product out there, maybe get lucky and do quite a bit of sales. Now, when you look at someone like Kayla and what she's selling here, if you look at her product, you look at how much she had in retweets. She had over 300,000 likes, 600,000 quote hits. She had over 100,000 people. So even if she converts about 5% of what she's selling, you're talking about her doing what? 5% at on average, maybe $200 per order. You're talking about it's 5,000. You're talking about close to hopefully $1 million, give or take, maybe $500,000. But then you get customers coming in. Tomorrow you can retarget them on Facebook, Twitter, and so on and so forth, right? And then of course you're a small business, and then that usually doesn't cost you a lot of money. It's always, you want to be an ongoing concern. You want to have you want to be in a position where you are getting amplified because of your participation across different platforms, different groups. You're a member of some group. Let's say you watch 24 or you watch Game of Thrones, right? And you can do a jacket specifically for Game of Thrones, or you can do whatever, right? And you can say, guys, because you participate so much in that group, you have a lot of goodwill, and you can always tell them, I have this product I'm selling. You guys help me. Do you mind helping me? Let's amplify our product, right? So now let's go to the nitty gritty. We have Donald J. Trump. Everything is all over the whatever the screen, right? America is leading in space again, and it's all thanks to President Trump. Contribute now to make space great again, right? And then when you go to the website, it is just majestic. Like everything is unbelievable, right? And then they had quite an amazing social media team. They really did their best. They have an influencer who has control of the Air Force One, right? And they're literally, I think you can see the video on the screen. They are literally running Biden's team out of Texas with the big trucks, America, So opulence, greatness, everything is big, 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 right? He's getting corona and he's getting healed in 2 days. It's a show because on the other end, people are not doing too well, which is a problem for him as a candidate, right? On the other end, you have Joe Biden. It's a presidency for all Americans, right? Native Americans and all these small things. And at times we underestimate how much that weird connection matters to people. And I think as the election was being called, you could see the Democrat Party really worked hard at some of the smallest, most insignificant votes. They went after him aggressively because they knew what they were going against, right? They're going against a president who understands showmanship and has close to 100 million followers, right? And then here you are, you're being called Sleepy Joe Biden, and you have, I think at the time he had like 8 million followers. So the question is, what happened? What happened? A confluence of factors. One, on the emotional side, things are not going well for America. Corona is ripping apart the heartland, and so people are really worried about their health. And they have taken a very they have taken a very aggressive stance towards, helping out the common man. So here you have, on one end, you're fighting the so-called system, and you're fighting the system, but the people on the ground are not enjoying the show because they're suffering, right? You've given them $1,200 on their stimulus check and to survive for 7 months, and then corporations get a lot of money. So there's that same thing that happened in, I think, 2008. So from an emotional perspective, people are really, yes, they enjoy that, they want to get entertained, but don't entertain me while I'm suffering, right? And as you saw in one of the videos before, I think Americans, if you look at Joe Biden's status and Kamala Harris, they were taking a very much more mature stance. Like, guys, we are doing our best. We are trying to get you money and so on and so forth. We are looking at, getting you food. We have a mature leadership. We have leadership for all America. Look at this other crazy guy. You are not going to get Marine One coming for you. You're not going to get experimental medicine and so on and so forth, right? But they were using, like, if you look on screen right now, I think Kamala Harris is using Twitter cards to show that she makes cornbread dressing. It's more like, look, and they keep saying, she puts up a Twitter card to show, which is actually brilliant. She does a post about showing the different, what do you call them? The different recipes that she has. So what happens? She has a bunch of followers. They click like, they click love, they retweet her post. She's getting 10,000 retweets per post, right? And this is getting amplified on Twitter's platform. This is not your platform. This is their platform, right? So they can decide to do whatever the hell they want to do, right? I don't know if you guys know about James Charles. He is a mega star on, let me see, James Charles. He is a star on YouTube. He has over 24 million subscribers, and he's called James Charles. He does makeup, right? So what's happening to him now is that any post he gets, he posts up, even on Instagram, he posts something more on Instagram, he's getting suppressed. So, and the idea is that, the guys on Instagram are saying, look, this is our platform. They expect him to spend a particular amount of money Two, they're not there to just making money for free. So what happens is that they look at some of these big accounts that have gone from creating content to selling merchandise. Then they start suppressing these accounts because they are like, look, we're giving you a platform for free. You're getting 3 million, look at this guy. This guy gets like 10, 20 million for views, 14 million views. Even if he converts 10% of those into sales, you hear this guy is worth probably $200 million because of the amount of sales he does on his store. So the idea is this. I mean, I will consistently give you the idea of don't be in the position where you're getting suppressed. And of course, as your business grows, be smart about what you're doing. Now, with Trump, I mean, there's a point where they were retweeting, like there was that video of Biden, Harris, and the team. I think they were in Texas, and they had these huge trucks, and they were running this poor woman out of the road. And then, of course, when you try to retweet that, the team in on Twitter, it really suppresses that message. They're like, we're not out to promote violence, right? Now, we are going to take a look at, this section is going to be about how the Biden campaign was able to amplify the message, right? So they had the usual guys on their side, CBS, CNN, NBC, the so-called fake media. But it's not fake media, it's media. If they put your message on there, they will amplify your message like they did for Elsa Majimbo. There's a young lady who started doing videos about, it's audacity for me. If you haven't seen that video, I think we'll put up a small clip. She has over 300,000 followers right now on Twitter. Then she's really reaching out on a cross-cultural path. Where she's on Instagram, she's on Twitter, she's doing 30,000 retweets, and she's a local. She just has like a simple iPhone, and she's doing fantastic videos. Maybe you can do a small montage on her, on some of the videos she's done. Now the idea is this, that the media is very important for you. For your small business, you want to get them doing. You want people writing about what you're doing, right? And they'll give you that. They have readership. They have tens of billions of dollars in collective history, and you want to take advantage of that, right? That's why I think I mentioned Elsa Majimbo. I wish she'd do merchandise. I think I probably should contact her, and she'd do merchandise in the US about Majimbo. I don't know, shirts or something. So usual guys, CNN, NBC, the media there, the so-called fake news media, they have a lot of power. They have like CBS, BET, Comedy Central on CBS. Then they have, they have NBC. So what would happen is that anytime Trump would go to campaign, wherever he would go, suppression, they would not cover the campaign. They would cover the fact that, oh, gee, there were all these little grandmothers that were left on the side of the street. So that, emotional, you're trying to reduce people's emotional connection with the candidate in question. So the media is very, very powerful, right? So they were more pro-Biden, which is a good thing if you're on the Biden side. Then they had probably one of the best money-raising campaigns. I think if you remember back in the day when Obama got in, they had Google running, some ex-Google guys were running their campaigns. I think Eric something, he's like the head of Google. He literally got him, they got the Obama campaign, their best engineers to go help him out. And they were writing tools that were way ahead of their time, right? So actblue.com, you really should see what these guys are doing. And basically they have a huge, it's like, Stripe or something else, or like, Amazon Pay, or maybe like the Apple backend. They have a database of they're one of the biggest blue databases online of people that have gone out and donated to a campaign, right? So then they've created tools that you can use on Twitter. They automatically, let's go to Media's Touch. So they're helping out small NGOs. They're giving them the same power that a Trump campaign or a Democrat presidential candidate would have. So what happens is that, like, if you go to Twitter here, and we post this simple link, and what happens is, boom, our Twitter cards are on there. and they're able to really magnify their message collectively. From a financial perspective, they really don't have to invest a lot of money on the tech infrastructure, which is fantastic, right? Check. You have that. It's like having a Shopify store. They have one of the best back-end fraud fighting machine learning algorithms, I think, apart from, I think, Amazon or something, right? So then they have the usual things. They have the Twitter following. Then they're not going against, they're not fighting the so-called big tech, Google, Twitter, and all these other guys. So whatever content they put up, the algorithms are more on their side. Now, this is not for you. I don't think you have that. You may not be there yet, but you want to understand there's the back end. This is how things work on the back end. That one post you put up there, there are people who are watching you. That's why I think I was telling you guys that I had, I think Don Winslow, he's like an international number one best-selling follower with over 600,000 followers. I got someone like John Cooper, who works for the Democrat convention. He was a Long Island chair for Barack Obama. I got guys like, what's this guy? I got guys like Matthew Cherry and so on and so forth. Like I had some pretty high-end followers on the back end going out and magnifying my campaign, right? I had guys like Kat Ekenwald, who's like a number one New York Times best-selling author. He's like a tier one guy, right? So it just takes one retweet. Then the question is, when you get that retweet from an emotional perspective, are you connecting with the right audience, right? Do you have the right emotional backing? So when you go to Joe Biden's campaign, he didn't have as many people, right? He has really small following, but Twitter is on his side. So the question is, what are the other factors that are affecting his promotion? And what happens is that if you're not fighting Twitter on here, you are getting free traffic. That's what I've been able to get for quite a while, right? If you're not spending money and consistently fighting this platform, you are going to do really, really well. But you need to understand it's not just a question of posting your post. There's so many other factors out there that are going to help you win. Now, for the campaign, there's something called Super PACs. The PACs, PAC, is a political action committee. Basically, anyone in America can register their PAC, and then they can go out and support a particular candidate. Like in this case, Midas Touch was one of the biggest super PACs out there for the Biden campaign. It was started by three brothers, Ben, Brett, and Jordan. Midas, one is a lawyer, one is an editor, the other guy is, I don't know, he's the other brother, And so they would come up with all these fantastic videos, but they were 100% on Twitter. That's where they were magnifying their message. And then the question is, they say chip in. I remember some of their, let's look at their landing page, right? You have the chip in for Midas Touch. They were even asking for $3. They were really that well organized. And then of course, sure, people are looking for a counter towards that exciting world of Trump, and they were really able to come in and help out and help balance out. They were able to balance out the sort of the equation from an entertainment perspective. Now, if I post their link on my Twitter, you can see there's a Midas Touch, secure.actblue. They have, it's really standard across the board. But they have really worked a lot on cleaning out their their conversions, right? They have some of the best conversions on there. So Midas Touch is you have the usual thing from an emotional perspective. I think Kamala was more of a Obama choice versus a Biden choice. She chose Kamala Harris, which of course got Stacey Abrams to focus on the ground in Georgia, right? So she has actually more followers. Well, she has about 12.3 million followers now. And those are really come up. I can't imagine what her analytics are, but she comes in as she's the African American candidate. She's bringing all these votes, and she, from an emotional perspective, she's coming with Obama. She played, we call it Chini. She was an underplay, right? She was an underplay to the Obama campaign. She really did the groundwork for them in California. So from an emotional perspective, when you see what she does, there's what she's done here with, um, understanding what it'll take to win. If you look at what she's done with the recipe, which is just brilliant, she's done a thread about Kamala's cornbread dressing. If you look at this on screen, look at how she's using Twitter cards on here. She's actually using more. She's using images, not Twitter cards. But if, let's say, for example, you're selling dressing, you're selling maybe spices, you can copy what she's done here. Look on screen, Kamala's cornbread dressing. Look at how she's used the images, the color schemes to sit down, and this is just brilliant. And then, of course, what happens is that people start retweeting more of the same post, and you get more impressions. Impressions hopefully equals conversions for your brand, which is what we are here for. Now, so the Democrats have covered the sort of the emotional side of it, right? But they have money, so they're spending a lot of ads, so they're getting impressions in different, there's how they run campaigns. So as they're running that, they're not fighting Twitter. Twitter is literally just, as they magnify their posts, they're getting free impressions, which saves them money. And I think that there's a point I checked, and they had close to $400 million. And they haven't even gotten into the state house yet. They have so much money left. And I think we all saw the video of Brad Pascal arrested. I think we all saw the video of that young man getting arrested. I think that was a low end, and they said he stole like $40 million and all that kind of stuff. So even from the inside of the campaign, you want, the emotional connection with the people around you should be very just congruent across the board. Like, people, you cannot be jumping up and down. For example, I'm selling masks. At some point, I used to work, I think, in Duke Hospital ICU, and I used to be a nurse in an Alzheimer's unit back in the day. So I understand what happens when people say that when someone with coronavirus gets into a nursing home without a mask and coughs, it slays everyone in there. So I understand that part. So when I am marketing my product on Twitter, I understand, from an emotional perspective, I am marketing my product, a product that I pay special attention to, a product that I believe in. So when you have to believe in what you're doing, right? So you cannot be fighting wars with your media amplification partners, with the media, your local group on Facebook, your Instagram channel. You need to participate. You need to have goodwill spread across the board. And I think, as you go in, as you put all these factors together, we hope that you can get a winning campaign. Like, you can go on Reddit, you may put up a simple post on Reddit that will just amplify your Twitter post or even amplify your product. You may not even need Twitter. So, but when we're talking about how Joe Biden beat the Trump campaign, one, he wasn't fighting the platform, right? Then he came off with a much more, it was a weird strategy. He came up with a much more, I'm here to calm down the tempers. I'm here to attempt to make a country for all Americans, black, white, Latino, and so on and so forth, right? I think we should be respected around the world, and so on and so forth. You understand the whole thing that happened. But when you're out for retweets, we're out for people to talk about your product. I'll give you an example. Let's say I'm going to do this on one of my products. I want to put up get about maybe 60 of my products and send them to people that have bought stuff from me before. Put up a Kickstarter, attempt to raise money. That helps me, sort of build up a marketing budget before. But one, I've already connected with these people. Two, I'm not going to charge them for this new product. I'll ask them if they can take some pictures, maybe put them up on their Twitter campaigns, on their Instagram, and so on and so forth. Then I'll use the same tactics with the newsletters and so on and so forth to market my product for people that are needed. Let's say to maybe the Creative Fund and the guys at BackerKit. I'll send them free products and tell them, guys, check this out. Before you even feature me for free, check this out. Here's a product, right? And what happens is that you want to connect with people on an emotional, on a very emotional point of view, or emotional sort of aspect to your relation to the person. Now, someone like Joe Biden, he connected with black voters, Latino voters. I think people underestimate how much Obama and his team really made positions for people that could not have gotten those positions before in government, right? So that helps with him go out to a place like Arizona and get, someone like Cindy McCain, right? Cindy McCain. Someone like Cindy McCain, who is a staunch Republican, right? And they've literally built Arizona, comes out, and I think, I don't know if I can get the video, and she basically, on November 12th, and I quote, "Congrats to Joe Biden for carrying my home state of Arizona. I'm so proud of Arizonans showing up in record numbers to make their voices heard." And if you look on screen, there's a video of Joe Biden, McCain funeral. And he said, the first things he said was,
"My name's Joe Biden. I'm a Democrat. And I love John McCain."
He says, "Hi, I'm John McCain. Hi, I'm a Democrat, and I love John McCain." So, emotional connection, very important, right? Not having that emotional connection with Cindy McCain and the McCain family, grabs such a huge vote for Trump in a very, very supposedly red state. Emotional connection. The people there will sit down and have a conversation and say, "This crazy guy needs to go." And boy, the next thing now what happens is that Cindy McCain gave Joe Biden she gave him an endorsement, which translates to literally the whole state is saying, don't even bother, So you want to be the recipient of that goodwill. Goodwill equals retweets. That's how you'll dominate your market. Goodwill will get you someone on a newsletter posting it on their profile, and someone else with maybe 1,000 followers coming back to your campaign and retweeting your product. That's how you'll get people that compounding effect across the board. So small guys like Media Starch have done that. They make really good videos. They are very entertaining, and then of course they are counter to what Trump is doing. Then of course at the end of the day, what is your emotional connection to the people on the ground? Are they hurting or they are okay? Are they enjoying what you're saying, or they are kind of wondering, are you insane? Like, can you get us some money so that we can be able to withstand, the one or two things that are not working out, and maybe so that I can get a fighting chance? Your brand can learn from this campaign. I think we've covered quite a bit. You don't need that many followers. You just need to understand that suppression, promotion. You want to be on the promotion side. You want to be in a position where people are looking forward to hearing what you have, your products. Then as you get those sales, you get those followers, tomorrow you're able to remarket to those people, because your product, remember, this is not about you getting rich. It's about you taking a simple product and putting yourself in a position where you're making $200-300 a day on the side. Some of you will put up a Kickstarter. You can make even $1 million, but from one tweet or retweet. Do not limit yourself. We just happen to stumble onto this, and I think we are trying our best to really show you what not to do and what to do. The platforms that you expect to take advantage of are very important. There are people doing this on very different scales. We're doing it with WordPress, Equid, Shopify. We're doing it with we are getting impressions for free, but we already have a back end. So we're not just making things up as we go in. We're getting guys, we're getting impressions, we're getting mentions, we're getting followers coming in. We are targeting the right people, using the right hashtags. The right hashtags is the product you're selling. You can be selling penny stocks. So what do you need to do? You need to get the right penny stock hashtags to go out and market them to the right product. You have a course about furniture. Maybe you need to look at the crafting groups and then tell them, hey, I have this fantastic course. You have seen what even someone like Kamala Harris is using for recipes. She literally goes out and places a recipe. She puts up small things on there. Maybe you can put up a video. You can start doing the same thing and place it online. Now, it's really cheap to get your product out there online. But always understand, when you look at the Joe Biden site, there's a video here about, they say a presidency for all Americans. And that won him the election. You had this, sort of, not a white power really, but this more conservative world in 2020. This is not 1985. So emotional connection, understand the lay of the ground. Do not attempt to dismantle the USPS in an election year. Even the most staunch Republicans are very emotionally connected to the Postal Service. They know how important it is. They have heard how consistently people have been trying to break it. So, you start losing fringe votes. You start fighting platforms. You start fighting people that they understand what you're saying, but they do not want to give you, they start questioning, whether you are, you're a hypocrite. You're just doing this for themselves. So, yep, that's it. That's how the Joe Biden campaign, they took the media, they took super PACs, they took their goodwill relationship with some of these huge platforms, and they really hit on the emotional connection of people that were broke, people without stimulus, people were looking at the end of the year. You look at NFL stadiums, they're empty. There are no jobs. There are no jobs but my goal is to make sure that for you, as you go to, at some point, we're going to go back to work, right? Which is sooner than later. So what happens is that you want to place yourself in a position where you understand how to use all these fantastic tools. Like of late, Twitter is allowing stories, right? So that's a new thing that's literally just coming up. So if you know how to use stories on Snapchat, you can get on Twitter and you can do stories on there. Some of you will do really well on that. Snapchat, I think, has a new, it's like TikTok now or something. So like all these platforms are really aggressively fighting to make you successful. But on Twitter, this is how you handle retweet domination. Psychology first, emotional connection. Second, 3 times you need a product, you need to be selling something, you need to be moving something, you need to be selling inspiration, you need to be selling a course. Do not underestimate how much people can give you. I think I've been in a position where, someone like Gary Vee gives me, $1,000, right? I mean, yeah. So that is an actual fact. So the sky is the limit, and space is the destination. So keep on, light up the whatever the rocket and just keep on going. We will try to add more and more content as we progress. We will look at different other campaigns. You see the other small stores. You can see like if you look at my campaign, I have, my profile visits have gone up, my mentions have gone up, my followers have gone up. You don't need 1 million followers to retweet your product. People, from an emotional perspective, someone like McCain may have 200,000 followers, but she's able to go out, look at the profile picture is a profile picture of the husband, right? And media starch is literally three guys with no money, but they know how to edit. So they create a pack, they register it, they start asking for donations. So there's a right way to ask for donations, which is what? Twitter cards. They use that, Twitter cards enabled, they get their content moving, and then are they actually, are they authentic with what they're doing? That's why we're talking about them. They're authentic. Then of course you across the board, you get people that will magnify what you're doing. From particularly now in the corona age, you have so many people that have moved online, right? So many people have moved online, and they want to buy your product. They want to figure out what you're doing. They want to donate money to you. They want to come to your store. They want to support you, and you can go from zero and you can win. That's how Joe Biden went out, an experienced politician. He's been around for about 47 years in Washington. So he knows the who's of the who. And he used his knowledge of how politics works, how people work. They're a fantastic team, and they won an election. It's the same tricks, same thing we're doing with our small campaign to go out and put us over the top. And I hope you can take the same, sort of the same thinking, the same tools, and then twist them in however special way you may. I'm always available. I think you have the email on there on set, on the one of the PDFs on there, and go win. Thank you very much. This was a special section specifically to show you how Sleepy Joe dismantled the Trump train and is going to moonwalk into the White House. I hope we get dollars moonwalk into your account. Thank you so much and have a good day.